Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday, October 13th, 2023. I hope you're safe and healthy today. Happy Friday to all of you. Hope your family's safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, who along with the first responders we're out here saving lives every day. Blessings also upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep our streets and neighborhoods clean and disease free. And those that make deliveries of important things like food and water and fuel and mail for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The people who are also trying to recover and help victims of prostitution and child prostitution, victims of pornography and child pornography, victims of human trafficking and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that create this industry. Finally, blessings, double blessings on the homeless, nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, mostly children, and a lot of seniors, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So, last night, I was looking at, I like to follow Oklahoma City. I like that team, aside from the Knicks, of course. But, so last night I'm watching Oklahoma City, and I had watched a couple of their games this preseason. I watched them during the course of the season. I like the way they play basketball. And so I'm watching Chet Holmgren. And I saw some highlights of him against Victor Wembanyama, whatever. And so I'm looking at Chet Holmgren last night. Man, he's a game changer. He really is. He's a game changer, especially when you put him with SGA and the rest of the team they got. They're going to be really good this year. I feel like they're going to be good. But, of course, a couple of problems. Number one, I told y'all when he got drafted, he was lighting the behind. And so all of the skill in the world is great, unless you're not available. Then it's not so good, right? You can have all the skill in the world. Look at Anthony Ambulance, right? So you can have all the skills in the world. You can be dominant. But unless you're available consistently, your team doesn't have a chance to win. Now, of course, also, aside from that, you got to be ready at money time. When is money time in the NBA? It's the playoffs. Money time is the playoffs. You see, brethren, a lot of people break on guys like Julius Randle because the first playoff we had, 2020, 2021, he had a bad playoff. Atlanta exposed him. But it wasn't just his fault, though. It was the fact that we didn't have nothing else aside from him to go to. Really, that's what it was. So the second time he comes, he hurts his ankle. Okay, now that we look back on it, I got to give him some break on that because his ankle was legit hurt. That's why he had serious surgery off season. He's recovered. I'm expecting a breakout this year. But many people are still tripping because a lot of people in New York can't help but trip. They live in trip world. But on his playoff performances, tripping on that. I'm not worried about that. But Mitchell Robinson, that's who I want to talk about today. Big game money, Mitch Rob. That's right. Because last year, if you recall, Mitch Rob, like his stat line, right? His stat line against Cleveland, right? Well, first of all, let me just say right out. Between him and Brunson, they won the Cleveland series. And it wasn't because of his stats. Many of y'all still don't get it. You know why? Because you don't know how to look at basketball. You know how to look at stats, but you don't know ball. If you look at his stats, his playoff stats. Last year in the playoffs, he shot 60% from the field. He shot 60% from two, didn't shoot a three, shot 39% from the line, averaged 5 offensive rebounds, a block and a half, and 6.5 points. Now, if you're going to tell me based on those stats he didn't play well, don't talk to me because you don't know basketball and you definitely didn't see the series. Mitch Rob dominated the Cleveland series. Mitch Rob dominated Evan Mobley. Mitch Rob dominated Jared Allen. They know who he is because it's more than just stats. You see, he knows how to protect the rim. He knows how to call out the defense. He knows how to pass the ball out to shooters. That's Mitch Rob. Okay? What I'm saying is No, he's not the three-point shooting Chet Holmgren or Victor Wembanyama. No, he's not the guy that's going to get you a triple-double like the Joker. But what he can do, what I'm telling you he can do, he can win you a championship. And brethren, that's the bottom line. Can he help us get the chip? Yes. He doesn't need to be, what somebody was saying? He doesn't need to be a shooting big like Brook Lopez or Joker. You don't need that. Not in Tom Thibodeau's scheme. Tom Thibodeau focus on defense, and you need somebody that could get you stops, because in the playoffs, when it's money time, you need to get stops. And when I say money time, it's serious time, because not only are you playing for the chip and all the players are competitive, but there is a lot of money on the line, especially in the playoffs. And when it's big money time, it's Mitchrob time. And so I'm looking at Chet Holmgren last night, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, the boy got skills. You know, he's going to turn it out this year for whatever games he plays, 50, 60 games he plays. But he got to come and meet Mitchrob. I am looking forward to that. He got to come and meet Mitchrob. He got to come and meet the league. You see, when Mitchrob got drafted, second round, one of the steals. I mean, this is before the Don's tenure, but that was a great steal, okay? It's not Joker, second round MVP, but this was a steal. Mitchrob that year, if you look back, he'd definitely be a lottery pick. But he was drafted in the second round, could jump like a pogo stick, right? Skinny kid, was blocking everything. If you remember, he was blocking everything out of sight. You know, when his rookie year, his second year, had trouble staying on the floor a little bit. Skinny, jumped too much, got in foul trouble. People still were trying to act like that's still him. I mean, I heard some comment to somebody, if he could stay out of foul trouble. What the hell? He ain't in no foul trouble. He fouled out like 3 or 4 times this past season. So what? Everybody does that. He's the defensive anchor. No, he's not really in foul trouble. But in his rookie year, second year, he was. He was. He was getting a lot of blocks. I think he had like 9 blocks in a game, some craziness like that. But then his third year, he started settling down, learn how to play the game as a 5. You see, the 2 hardest spots to learn in the NBA are the point guard and the 5. Those are 2 hardest spots to learn, because the 5 calls out the defense. The 5's got to be in position all the time. The 5's got to read where everything is going. So it takes a minute to learn that. It takes like 2 or 3 seasons. Just because you see a cat, like a Jalen Duren, or you see a cat in college that can do, looks like he got all kind of all-world skills, you need a little bit of this to be able to play the 5 in the NBA, okay, in the league. So it took him a couple of seasons, and that's generally the case. Then his third season is when he got hurt, of course, broke his foot. And so then we had a backup dude, I forgot even his name, Nerlens Noel, came in, did a good job. And the Knicks went into the first round, lost to Atlanta. But now, last season, what you saw is what's the coming of the Mitchrob monster, okay? So he took care of Cleveland by himself. Now imagine now, you get a healthy Julius Randle. You get a Quentin Grimes that's now getting shots. And you got a Jalen Brunson. And don't let RJ Barrett decide to show up, Broadway Barrett. And here come IQ, which is soon going to get his extension. And he's going to be happy. He's going to be ready to roll. Then you got Charlie Hustle with Josh Hart and Isaiah Hartenstein. And of course, the newest kid on the block, Dante DiVincenzo. Mitchrob. See, he whined about getting the ball and all that, but you can't pay attention to that. What you got to pay attention to is him dominating the opposition. I'm looking forward. Now, there's a couple of things we should all know, okay? Because, some of y'all are trying to be coaches when you should be fans, and GMs when you're supposed to be fans, especially if you're supposed to be fans of the Knicks. And then there's times when you're supposed to be scouting players, and we're looking at college players, you just get all hyped like a fan. This is not the time to try to coach Mitch. He needs a baby hook. He needs to improve this. He needs to improve that. Stop trying to be a coach. None of y'all is Red Auerbach. Okay? But appreciate what you got. Now, he's going to, like Julius Randle is our problem child. Okay? So we already kind of know. You should not be surprised when he trips out a couple of times during the season. It's going to happen. He's going to trip out a couple of times. Maybe cost us a game or 2. He's going to do that. But at the same time, He's going to win us games because he can become a brick doo-doo house and just take over. That's JuJu. Okay, he's going to do that. Well, Mitchrob is going to probably play 65 games, 65 games. Okay, that's going to happen. That's why we got Isaiah Hartenstein. That's why we got Jericho Sims, who, by the way, is going to play some 4 as well as 5. That's okay. But you got to remember, though, is what you want Mitchrob for is money time. Because if you get him like you got him last year with Julius Randle, with Jalen Brunson, with an improved Quentin Grimes, which I'm guaranteeing you is going to improve this year. I'm guaranteeing you. Listen to what I'm saying. He's going to come through. Then if we get some improvement from R.J. Barrett, nobody want to deal with it in New York. I'm going to tell you right now, they can predict all they want. Somebody going to lose their spot. Nobody want to play with New York. And the key linchpin to all of that is Mitchrob, mofos. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, I'm trying to tell you. All right? So I'm excited. Don't be surprised he gets hurt, misses 5 games, whatever. Just watch when the playoffs come. Watch when he's on the floor. And he's going to introduce Mr. Holmgren, Mr. Wembanyama, and whoever else think they come in with something to the league. You'll enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Shalom.